Hello friends, and welcome of you in this video number 3 of our new course, creating a web application using a Spring Boot. In this video we'll carry on from the last point we stopped in video number 2, and we're still working on the body of our index page for our web application. Now if you wish to add a title for your website or your index web page, same as with this one, supposing you wish to write a special title here as an introduction for your website, you could add it in this case just a normal div and for a paragraph, and that's it, nothing fancy. Now let's come to one important thing with Thymeleaf. Thymeleaf uses the fragments. These fragments can be used in multiple pages. Supposing that you have one thing, for instance the header or the footer. Now you know the header and the footer, we will use it in all the pages, so we don't have to hard code the header or the footer in every page. What we need to do is that we create an HTML file by the name of fragments, and this fragment we create a div as for instance for the header as a fragment, th fragment, and we give it a name, and then we create the header, whatever things, designs we wish to do, we can do it here. Or also for the footer, th fragment, we give it a name for the footer, for this fragment, and the class name, of course, the footer, and then we design the footer the way we wish. Now this name, this fragment name, which in case footer bar or header bar, we can use it in every page that we want to use it in. For instance, in the index page, now I'm inserting this header, as you can see here, this header tag th insert, so I'm inserting this header fragment, referring to it with the fragments.html double colons header bar. The header bar is this one, this fragment. In this case it will be much more convenient, so you can use this same fragment in multiple pages, same as with the footer, or same as with any fragment you wish to create. And we will see this. We will create multiple fragments in the course of our learning about this website design. We will create multiple fragments, as you can see here, many fragments, this fragment or this one or this one, and we can use it, even the social media link, we can use it as a fragment, and we can use it in any page we wish. So this is a very convenient way when you have one fragment that can be placed in different pages. So here how you refer to one fragment, th insert, the page where you have created the fragment, double colons, and the name of the fragment. And the name of the fragment will be, it's a div, a normal div, you give it a class name, th fragment, and give the name for that fragment, and you can use it in here. Now the same thing with the social. This fragment I'm inserting as a div, th insert fragments.html, which is this file, double colons, header, or sorry, social. This fragment by the name of social. So I go and look, where is the social fragment? This is the social fragment. So it's a div, I gave it the same name, social links. Okay, the name of the class, social links, so I can apply later on the CSS on this class. And the name of the fragment, th fragment social, which is same as here. And then I design the fragment the way I wish. In my case, I'm adding supposing WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter, whichever social media you wish to add. So this is how you add a fragment. In this case, a div. It's not a header. In this case, this is a regular div. So th insert fragments.html and the name of the fragment. And at the end of it here, this is the footer. Footer th insert fragments.html double colons footer bar, and that's it. The footer will be added in here or in any page you wish. Now let's see it. This is the header, and this is the footer, and this is the main content. This is the social bar, the social networks bar, and this is the main content which we will place at this div, and we will call it the main wrapper. This is a very ordinary design, so I don't have to go through it much more. I believe you already know how you can use a div or classes, or either you give it an image. Supposing you wish to add an image here, or a video, or an iframe from YouTube, you can do it easily. You just refer to the image or video or an iframe. The iframe you can collect from the, supposing if you have a YouTube, you just go to that YouTube video, and at the share button, share, you click on it, and then it will give you the embed. Embed will give you this link. Of course, depending on your video, this link belongs to my video, but in your case you will get a different link. But this is the general idea, is that if you wish to add an image or a video or an iframe from a YouTube video, you can add it easily using this code. We still have time. Now if you wish to add a text, as we have said before, for each paragraph, whether it's an HQ or a paragraph, you could add it easily also. I believe this is the basic things you know about, so I will not go through them much more. Now let's see about the CSS. We finished with the HTML, let's see about the CSS. So we go to the CSS of it, and we select the index.css. It's a normal CSS. You could easily do it. You can control your the look of your web page the way you wish. You refer to any div or any class. You can control the look, but in our case we are using a grid. So since we are using a grid, we need to give the grid how many columns. In my case, I'm using this entire layout as one column, all of it from here to here as one column. Okay, I have two divs. One is the top and one is the bottom. This is the top and this is the bottom. It is all in one grid, one column. So it is one column and two divs. One is the top and one in the bottom. Now I need to refer to these two divs, the top one and the bottom one. I need to give them a name. So I will also display them as a grid, but I need to give it a name. So the grid area name is index content top. I will add it in here. and the bottom one I will add it in here. You see, I have to separate them because they are one on top of the other, one on top of the other, as it states in here. This one div, the top layout, and the bottom one, and it's all inside, all this inside one column, which is one fraction. The index wrapper has one fraction, and it has two divs, one on top, one on bottom. This is the top one and this is the bottom one. I need to give it a name, the grid area name, top, and the grid area bottom. Now this divs, each one of them, the top one and the bottom, also consist of two divs. Each one, the top one and the bottom one, consist of two divs, 1 and 2. The bottom one consists of one div, two div. So what we will consider, the top one we will consider it also as a grid, and we will create two divs inside it. We will repeat two, one fraction each. Two divs, each one is one fraction, which means the two divs are the same size. So the top has two divs, two fractions, each fraction is the same size of the other one, and the bottom the same as. In the bottom we will create it as a grid, and it has two columns with same size, and each one has a div, the bottom left and bottom right. So this is the bottom, top left, top right. I hope you got the point. One column for the main web page, one column. All this is one column. This column has two divs, upper div and bottom div, top and bottom. The top has two divs, each one is one fraction, same size, the left and the right, and the bottom as well as two fractions, the left bottom and the right bottom. And this is all of it. The wrapper is one fraction. It has two areas, the top and the bottom. You need to separate them. Now the top, I give it a name and I use it in here. The bottom, I give it a name and I use it in here. Now the top also a grid, so I will separate it in two separated areas. Each area has the same size, one fraction. And these two areas, I will give them a name. Index content top left, index content top right, which are these ones. The grid area, index content top left, and this one, content top right, and I can use it in it. The bottom is the same. I'll create it as a grid, two fractions, bottom left and bottom right, which is this one. Bottom left and bottom right, give it grid area. Now how you will create the size, how you will what things you will do, this is totally up to you. I'm just showing you the basic design, as you can see here, the basics. What will you do with that? That's totally up to you. If you would to add shadows, or if you would to shadow or whatever things other than that, you can add it in here in the CSS file. So, but I'm showing the basic design of the grid as per the content that you have to fill it with the content suitable for your need. Now, there's one thing, other thing which is important in our case, which is the using for multiple devices, for a desktop, for a laptop, for a tablet, or for a smartphone. First of all, you need to use the media, the screen, and we can control the width depend on the device. So up to 500 pixel, this is a smartphone. From 500, let's say, to 700, this is a tablet. From 7 to 800, this is a laptop. And above 800, let's say this is a desktop. You could control these numbers based on your wish, how you wish. I'm just giving you, this is just a reference, but you can add whichever sizes as per your requirement. Okay, here for a smartphone, you see, when we change this to a smartphone size, which is 500 pixel, you see that the layout has been changed. Now the layout is changed. Okay, and same as with the website, which is my website. If you press on it, you'll see that the layout has been changed. Automatically it will be changed. This is the effect happening from this media. So for a smartphone, when you want to control the layout of your website, you have to use this media attribute. Now, since we are going to make one column for all of these things, now you see we have two divs here. They are one next to other. When we use a smartphone layout, you'll see that these two divs, the top left is coming on the top right. So this is the left, this is the right, next to each other. On the smartphone, it will be up and down, and same with the bottom left and the bottom right. How we can do this? It's pretty easy. You just change the layout of the top. You make it one fraction, and then you place the top left and the top right just like this. You remember here, and the bottom as well, as we'll make it one fraction. But if you remember, when we created the top and the bottom, it was two fractions. Repeat, 2 by 1 fraction, and that's why we have one next to each other. But for a smartphone, we changed it to one fraction, the top and the bottom, and that's why we have got top up this layout. I hope it's clear how you can control the media. And the other things also you need to change as per the header and as per the footer and any other content inside your layout. You need to change, for instance, the font, the size of the font, the nav wrapper. Here, the burger icon or the logo, you need to place them one next to the other. And the nav items, because the nav items, they are here one to each other, next to each other, but in the smartphone it will be a drop-down list. When you press in here, it will be a drop-down list. So you need to change this. You need to activate the burger icon. This burger icon, you need to activate it. So it will be activated when you use the nav wrapper. The areas will be different. It will be logo and the burger icon. And you will change all the nav items. As well as the footer, the size, how you can control the footer. So this is a general idea about the index, CSS, the body, the burger icon. At the beginning, the display is none. We don't need to show a burger icon because the link to the pages will be residing one next to other, so we don't need a burger icon. The burger icon we will need it when we have a smartphone layout, this one. So the burger icon at the beginning, display none. The nav wrapper, we don't need any background for it. That's why we don't see any background. It's a transparent background for the nav wrapper. And the index background, you can position the image, or if you have the video and the title, and of course the main wrapper. Now if you need to margin top, that's why you could see that this space is empty, 500 pixels is empty, and the page will start from here. That's because the effect of this one. These are just CSS things which I believe normally you should have a good idea about them. I wanted to focus on the grid thing because this is probably a good thing you need to focus on. And an index wrapper, which is the main wrapper, which is the envelope of all the main page. This is the index wrapper. And of course the top and the bottom, which we have talked about, and how many each fraction. Now you can select more than one fraction, 2, 3, 4, depends how suitable for your work. And the top and the left and the bottom, we will also make them left and right, and we will create them as a grid also. Okay, so that's this video. I think we have talked about the first page, about the HTML page and its index, and I gave you good details about how you can describe and which things you need to add them in the page as per the HTML page, the links, how you link your resources, the fragments, and the grid, how you can use the grid CSS. Thank you very much.